Good morning, beloveds. So Reverend David looked up what was going on, why, because he and I were both having the video issue, but it was working on his iPhone, but not on his Pixel. And so he sent me what he did. And then I went, you know what? I bet if I just rebooted my phone, which worked, because when you reboot your phone, it force stops everything. So I didn't actually have to go and force stop Facebook. I just rebooted the phone. And the video's back to normal. Yay! I love it when Facebook changes things. So, and I knew that. And if I just remembered from the last time Facebook did that to me, I would have rebooted the phone. But, oh well, it is what it is, right? All right. The cats are all in here. 2 of the cats are in here being flibberty gibbets, although I think Rita just flew out of here. So, are you coming up? You coming up? No. All right. We've got an interesting one today. So it is November 4th. Our title is Declaration of Life Principles. And this is Edna M. Lister from her lesson delivered in Cleveland, Ohio, Saturday, March 12th, 1938. So, all right. Declaration of Life Principles. We believe in the motherhood and fatherhood of God, the Holy Trinity of Father, Mother, and Child. We believe that God created the world and God is still here with us, watching us care for it. We believe in the sacredness of the human body, this transient dwelling place of the soul, and so we deem it the duty of every person to keep their body beautiful through right thinking and right living. We believe that the best way to prepare for a future life is to be kind, live one day at a time, and do the very best that you can do each day. We believe that there is no devil but fear. We believe that no one can harm us but ourselves. We believe that we are children of God, and it does not yet appear what we shall be. We believe in the purifying process of sorrow, and that death is but a manifestation of eternal life. We believe in sunshine, fresh air, mental freedom, pure friendship, and a world of beautiful thoughts. And what are you going to say about that? I mean, what kind of commentary can you possibly have about this? This is what she believes. And you know what? I'm going to mostly agree with her. I have my own issues with parents, so it's like, I'm not sure that I want God to be my parent. So, that first line, you saw me hesitate on the first line, and I'm like, I can go with creator. It's like, I can go with creator, I can go with patterning intelligence. So if that line doesn't resonate with you, then fine. It's your choice. But we believe that God created the world and that is still here with us, watching us take care of it. And I thought that was interesting because there's a religion out there, and I think they're the deists, and they believe that God created the world but then turned its back on the world. So God is no longer at all involved in what is going on in this world. And I'm like, it's a very mechanistic way of looking at the world. It's like a clockmaker who put the earth in motion, put the world in motion, and then, isn't minding it. It's weird doing the minding. So, but you've heard us say, well, because I got it from Jesse, and he probably got it from Ernest, that God, spirit, whatever, life, whatever you want to call it, is fully present in every point in time and space, because God isn't bound by time and space. So, watching us take care of it. Yeah, but yeah, God created the world and is still here and is still involved in the movement of it. But it is our job to take care of it. Because we are the physical manifestations of said spirit. We believe in the sacredness of the human body. So we believe that the body is sacred. Now we recognize that it is a transient dwelling for the soul. The body is not what we are. It is a dwelling for our soul right now. And that we deem it the duty of every person to keep their body. And I like that I don't know how I feel about her using the word beautiful. Okay? Healthy. Active, maybe beautiful is just a trigger word for me. So if it is for you, feel free to change the word through right thinking and right living. And right thinking and right living, I mean, make good choices. Make good choices, because the way you're thinking, what you think about, and your mood definitely impacts how your body functions. It also impacts the choices that you make. As yesterday, we went to an arcade and played for a little while, and I definitely had too much sugar yesterday. I'm paying for it today. So, there's that right thinking and right living. So, no sugar for me today, right? Or at least I'm going back to my normal sugar consumption. They had sodas and made with real cane sugar, and the sodas were good. So, and it was $4 for the cup, but then I could refill it as many times as I want. I probably refilled it one too many times. I made sure to drink plenty of water after that, though. All right. So that right thinking and right living, making good choices, because your mood definitely affects your body. All right. We believe that the best way to prepare for a future life is to be kind, to live one day at a time, and do the very best you can each day. I can't argue with that. I mean, be kind, live one day. And do the best right. That's basic. We believe that there is no devil but fear. Now that's an interesting one. When I was in ministerial school, the best piece of advice that I got, especially when I'm visiting other faith traditions, is because I find it when they start talking about the devil, I'm like, it really puts me off. And so what I forget, I think it was Reverend Shannon O'Hurley who told me this: when you hear them say that, substitute the word ego. And I went, okay, because there's one power, not two. So the devil is not a power in and of itself. Evil is not a power in and of itself. What it is people making poor choices. People making, wrong choices. They are misusing the power that they have. And so what she's saying is there's no devil, there's only fear, and your ego, I'm not going to make the ego bad and wrong. What I'm going to remind you is the ego has one job: to keep you alive, and it will do it at the expense of everything else. So you don't ever want to let the ego drive. When you are dealing with the ego, it's like you listen to the ego and you go, okay, well, give me the information, and then you go and make your choice, but not based on just the ego's information. So, because like I said, ego's got a job. It just doesn't perform at the best for everybody. Now, we believe that no one can harm us but ourselves. That one's a little hard, because there are people out there who will make choices that, that one just, it really doesn't resonate with me. Now, I will tell you, nobody can hurt your feelings without your permission. And to some degree, nobody can hurt you without your permission. But things happen. Car accidents happen, things like that. So when you read that one, go back to nobody can hurt your feelings without your permission, and make good choices. So, there are places that I don't go by myself at certain times in the day. That's a good choice. So nobody can hurt me without my permission in that situation. Yes, things happen. But kind of go back to read that one, is nobody can hurt your feelings without your permission. Don't give people that kind of power over you. So, We believe that we are the children of God, but that does not yet appear what we shall be. Meaning, we are going to grow up. But we don't know what the next evolution looks like. And that's part of the interesting thing. It's like we do all of the spiritual work, not knowing what we're preparing for, but we're preparing for something else. We believe in the purifying process of sorrow and that death is but a manifestation of the eternal life. And that's one of those that's a reminder to feel your feelings. It is a reminder. Death isn't the end, but it does mean that the person who has made that transition, jump, graduation, the person who's died, they're no longer with you. And you are more than, you are allowed to feel sad. I heard somebody last night, and that's what they were talking about. It's like, I'm sad, but I'm not unhappy. And there's difference. And so the grieving process is normal and natural and necessary. But we also want to recognize that death isn't the end. And that to acknowledge the possibility that we'll be together again. So, grief is a purifying process. Sorrow is a purifying process. And I'm glad she put that in there, because you can be sad and not unhappy. And if you are unhappy, then we need to have a conversation about that, because there are different choices that you can make. And if you're struggling to see them, then, there are people that can help with that. And that looks like people that love you. That looks like your friends. That looks like your family. That looks like practitioners. That looks like ministers. And that also looks like therapists. I've been in therapy 3 times. All 3 times I was in therapy. No, technically 4. Because I tried out Talkspace for about a week. And that's what I needed. I needed a tune. And that week of Talkspace was really helpful. The therapist asked me, it was basically a journaling exercise. The therapist would ask me specific questions and then I would answer him over either text or it's through an app. And it was very, very, very helpful. So, therapists are a thing, and these virtual therapists, it was a real person on the other end of the screen. Or the other end of the app. Very helpful. All right. Let's see. And then the last one. We believe in sunshine, fresh air, mental freedom, pure friendship, and a world of better things. Sunshine, fresh air, mental freedom, pure friendship, and a world of beautiful things. I would tell you the mission today, should you choose to accept it, is that last line. To go and enjoy your friendships, to glorify in the fresh air, to look at your mental freedom. Because remember, I said nobody can hurt your feelings without your permission. That's the mental freedom. And beautiful things. And what does that, earlier I said that beauty was a trigger word for me, and I was just like, but in this case, there are a whole lot of things that are beautiful that the normatives would say that they're not. And I'm like, but they are. And so you get to decide what those beautiful things are for you. And maybe that should be the mission today. I like the whole last line to, go enjoy your friendships and enjoy the fresh air and the mental freedom. But maybe the mission today should be to you get to decide what the beautiful things are for you. Ooh, there we go. And then the rest of the other mission I give you is the mission, the spiritual practice of self-care. To do something loving for yourself, something kind for yourself, something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Today in the park, it was just hard. It was hard. And so I was like, I'm going to finish this loop, which is, almost 2 miles. and then I'm done. And I went home, and I came home early. And sometimes that's what love, kindness, and compassion looks like. It also looks like taking a deep breath before you speak, especially to yourself. It looks like taking the walk, taking the nap, taking the break. The human version of turn yourself off, turn yourself back on, because it works, especially if you need that break. It looks like eating dessert first, which if you've watched any of these, for me, that means don't save the good stuff. We don't know how long we're going to be here. So I'm encouraging you to go ahead and make the ordinary extraordinary a little more often. I encourage you to dress up in fancy clothes to do something fairly mundane more often. I'm encouraging you to use all of the fancy dishware that you would use for a holiday on a random Tuesday. I'm encouraging you to burn that candle, that you bought that smells really good before it gets sticky and dusty and doesn't smell the way it did when you bought it. Burn it now. Enjoy it now. And the cat is opening the closet door. So if I sound like I live in a haunted house, it's a cat. And I want to remind you also that joy is a quality of God. Therefore, because you are made by God, of God, joy is a quality of you. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you still deserve joy. Please make room for joy. Like I said, you can be sad, but not unhappy. You don't have to be unhappy and sad. So make room for joy in your life, because that is the quality of hope. So I'm going to remind you to do that. The rest of the suggestions, the self-care suggestions, are the basic, simple ones. Do something to engage your mind and your body, unless today is your day of rest. Drink plenty of water. You've already seen my water. I'm still hydrating a little bit from over-sugaring yesterday. I do encourage you to get that early in your day, bright light. 5 to 10 minutes in the 7 to 9 hour is really the peak one, according to science, where it supports your vitamin D, it supports your circadian rhythms. But if you get up before the sun, or, well after that 7 to 9, then artificial light will help too. And if you need the extra support, because, I understand seasonal affect disorder, you can Google seasonal affect disorder light or sun lamps. And because at this point, I think you can just buy a light bulb that you could screw into something you already have to help with those circadian rhythms. And back to the hydration, your brain works better, your body works better, and your skin looks better when you're well hydrated. So please drink plenty of water. Now I'm going to end my basic suggestions with my Ernest Holmes quote. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. Because it's not a place. It's a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. And we come pre-installed with it. We call it the Christ consciousness here. Every religion calls it something different, but we're all talking about the same thing. We're talking about that consciousness, that connection to the source of our own being that we all come into this world with, and it is how we leave this world, that connection. We follow that back to the source of our own being. And so, when we recognize that heaven is a state of mind, a state of consciousness, and that we can create it for ourselves, that it is an inborn quality, that's grace. Because heaven ceases to be a place that we have to get to and can become any place that we are. That's where it becomes a superpower. And I will remind you, because I do talk about it like software, the password to activate the Christ consciousness is love. In all of its many and splendid forms. So, try it. You might like it. Run that program and run it often. Okay. And you can always take Emma Curtis Hopkins' advice. Look for the good and praise it. I can swear to you, one of the best ways to change a grumpy mood is gratitude. You keep a gratitude journal and start count your blessings, as they like to say, then you'll see that there's far more than you thought. All right. And that is the cat messing with the curtain. Foster, what are you fussing about? And he just distracted me. But I was finishing up with Ernest. And a couple of other suggestions to change your grumpy mood is to random acts of kindness and volunteer service. Trust me, it works. You can look it up. Actually, you don't have to trust me at all. You can Google it. It's science. So, all right. I'm at the social media. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Gabby? I encourage you to check out especially the YouTube channels. There's hours of content and they're divided up into playlists to make them easier to find. On my channel, you will find the books divided up by month. And I also put the titles so you can see, because there's like 4 or 5 books up on mine. I found out this thing called there wasn't an Audible version. I was like, it is the best Ernest Holmes book ever. So I read it to you. So it's on both my YouTube channel, The Running Rev Ryan, and the Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube channel. So, feel free to check those out. All right. And if you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That is a constant contact. You'll get about 1 email a week. And the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll take you right where you want. Okay. I am at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a declaring your life principles day, a thanking Edna for hers, a glorifying in the fresh air, a defining the beautiful things, a recognizing your mental freedom day, a recognizing that you are a beloved child of God day, a getting to know who you are day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. As Edna said, and as I always say, you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. Okay? You teach people about the God of your understanding by your words and actions. So remember that. But you are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right? So, as I like to say, get to know the truth of your being. Get to know who God knows you to be. Just peel back the layers of everything. Of society, of culture, of religion, of who people have told you that you are. All of the labels and boxes that they have tried to put you in. And get to know who God knows you to be. Because I can promise you 2 things. That person is really good. And that person is really cool. So go and get to the truth of your being. All right. All right. So I will remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you today. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. And then after tomorrow, things will go back to normal. I take my brother to the airport tomorrow. So it's been great having him here, but vacations aren't meant to last. So, yeah. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you. Oh, because today is Saturday and tomorrow is Sunday. We'll have an amazing service for you around 11 on Facebook Live. All right. And later up on YouTube. Know that you're loved. I'll see you next time.